Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, you're never good enough? Like, no matter how much work you put in, you'll never be good enough to achieve that task. Everyone in their lives has felt at some point that they have not lived up to expectations set by themselves or others around them. I've always been enough, it just took challenges and amazing people for me to see that. From young age, I have always been my own worst critic. I know what it's like to set goals for myself and not be able to achieve them and feel like a failure because of that. In this presentation, I will share my journey through elementary, middle, and high school with self-pressure and how me overcoming these challenges and obstacles have created a better person and a more honest person today. First, I will talk about my elementary school career. I am the second oldest of 5 siblings, and my sister, who is a few years older than me, has always been very smart, natural with her confidence, and an overall amazing person. My parents have always had the tendency to compare us together because we're pretty close in age. And this did a number on my self-esteem because my sister, as I said previously, is older than me and smarter than me. And we would be compared in everything. They would compare us in academics, how well we understood subjects, report cards, anything that had to do with academics. And they would always tell me that they never meant anything by it, and it was always just a fun little comparison. But to me, it felt like I was in the shadow of my sister, and I could never live up to what she has been doing and the things that have been following her. When I was younger, I had really low self-confidence because of constantly comparing myself to my siblings and to others around me. This caused me to want to be perfect. And the want to be perfect was so I could seek validation from not only my parents, my siblings, but also the peers around me. I wanted them to see like, oh, she's doing so well, she's amazing, she's doing all these things. But truly on the inside, I was only doing them to seek validation from others. Now, with my elementary school years behind us, let's talk about middle school. Middle school was a new environment, like a little fish being dropped into a fish bowl. I was the new fish on the block, I guess you could say, and I could present myself in any way I wanted, and I wanted to be perfect. I wanted everyone to say that she is amazing, she's doing all these things, but truthfully, the only thing I was doing this for was for validation. I had no confidence in myself. I was constantly doubting myself at every turn, and I wanted that adrenaline rush and that validation from others so I could accept myself and love myself. I set strict goals for myself coming into this year. I would be a straight A student, I would participate in a lot of extracurriculars, and I would have 0 tardies and perfect attendance. This would show them that I was not only the role model student, but I was a perfect student. Also during my middle school career, I was chasing my sister's legacy. Me and my sister went to the same middle school, but during different years. And her legacy there was she was a honor roll student. She was always on the principal's list, and she participated in extracurriculars like sports and band and a writing club. And I wanted to do those things not only to live up to my sister, but to become better than my sister. But I didn't want to be better than my sister for myself so I could achieve something for myself. I wanted to achieve it for the peers, for the people around me, to tell me that I was amazing and that I was great and that I was hardworking. None of these things were for myself. They were always for others. And in always doing things for others, I lost my authenticity and myself. Well, now let's look at my high school career. During high school, I started high school in 2020. And I just had come from my first year of in-person learning in 8th grade. And this helped. My first year of in-person learning helped majorly with my confidence, but the only way that helped was when I was wearing a mask. When I came to 9th grade and they said there was no mask policy anymore, I was afraid of what people would think of me, of how I looked. Was I aesthetically pleasing to others? Was I nice looking to others? Or was I just someone that would brush past and be unnoticed? But this wasn't one of my main concerns. My main concerns was my actions. So to try and build up my confidence more, I decided to try out for my school's volleyball team. To be part of a team, have, I guess, built-in friends from this team. And when I made this team, I set extreme goals for myself. I needed to be a perfect athlete. I needed to be an amazing student athlete. I need to work the hardest, be the best, and try my best. And these all sound like regular goals for any upcoming student athlete, but I was only doing these things to appease others because my sister played volleyball, and my mom was like, hey, I think you should play volleyball too. And I was like, okay, since I should live up to my sister's expectations and honestly be better than her, I should do this and do everything twice as hard, 3 times as hard, to make it seem like I'm trying my best for me, but honestly it was just for others. And sadly, this mindset did bleed over into my school life, and I imposed a lot of the same rules I set for myself in middle school, where I needed to be a steady student, perfect attendance on the principal's list, and this caused me to downward spiral. And by the middle of the year, I was at my lowest point. I was in a depressive state. I wasn't talking to anybody. I hadn't made any new friends because of my constant, overbearingly perfect personality. And even looking back now, I didn't seem real to me. I needed to just embrace myself, but I didn't know how. So I decided that enough was enough. I couldn't keep doing this, and I decided, let me talk to my parents. And me and my parents had a conversation, and they told me, we don't expect you to be perfect. We don't expect you to live up to anybody. You just need to be you. You need to come to terms with you being yourself. You can't be anybody else. You can't be better than anybody else, and you can't be constantly comparing yourself to everybody else, because you're not everybody else. You're you. And this really struck a chord with me, because the people that have been with me my whole entire life, love me unconditionally, telling me this, had really changed my mindset. I decided that I needed to be comfortable living in my own body and being authentically me. So after this conversation and heading into my second half of my freshman year, I decided I was going to start doing things for me. So I still stayed on the volleyball team, but I changed my whole perspective of why I was on the team. I wanted to be on the team because I wanted to play volleyball. I had a genuine love for volleyball, and I wanted to stick to that and play because of that, not because of the drive and the passion of being perfect and living up to my sister's expectations and my parents' expectations and my coach's expectations. I just needed to live up to my own standards and be me. And this also helped with my schoolwork, because near the middle of the first semester of my freshman year, my grades were tanking. I was failing tests because I was not motivated to do anything anymore, because I had burnt myself out. And with this new mindset that I had, I studied for things that I wanted to learn about, and I felt like I was confident in. And this helped me bring up my GPA to a 4.0, be a AB honor roll student, and also be a student athlete that was recognized for Student of the Year, and I even got some different awards for volleyball. So in conclusion, we have, everyone in their lives has doubted themselves at some point. That we have thought that we aren't good enough just because we haven't met a certain expectation set by ourselves or by others. But the truth is that the only opinion that matters about you is yourself. You need to come to terms with being authentically yourself. And once we come to terms with that, we often live better lives, have better attitudes about things. And the biggest takeaway I want people to take from this speech is that there's no shame in being you. Being you is the most amazing and beautiful thing you can do, because you are a beautiful person and you do not need to be perfect for anybody.